What's good, y'all? How's it going, y'all? What's good, Mom Gang in the building? Yo, this is kind of crazy to hear this new news, right? What's up, YouTube? What's happening? This is that dude, the one and only Mind of Murdoch, bringing it back. We are here today with some special news, breaking news. While I was over here trying to edit a few things, getting things going, as you can tell up here, I'm getting the season review flashing and dashing, and we got some news. We got some news. Earlier this morning, I heard some lies apparently about Ben Johnson going to the Raiders, and that was just crazy to see all on its own. But man, oh man, the fact that Ben Johnson apparently turned down $92 million from the Raiders, it seems like. Oh my, how's it going there? You said I told y'all Bears fans and everything else was hating on the Lions, so they wanted to take everything we had. What? Never hated on the Lions. Never. This is never. No reason. No reason. See, there's a certain thing about consistency, right? And then it has to pay off. This is something that did not pay off for the Lions, and guess what? Ben Johnson understood it too. Almost overnight. I mean, it's ridiculous. He can give you guys any chance. I even saw Dan Campbell was actually talking about the fact that he might have to get some more coordinators on. He said, if that's what happens, well, if was a fifth, we'd all be drunk because apparently a lot of these ifs are happening, and I'm definitely happy to see it from the Bears. So we do have a season review to happen to come today. As you can tell, the Bears season wasn't necessarily everything that we wanted it to be, right? At the end of the day, we needed the Bears to be more productive. We had more players. We had more heavy hitters. We had elite pass rushers, which is the only pass rusher that we thought we needed, which was Montez Sweat, to help out the rest of our line, which apparently we all knew, as Bears fans knew, he needed more help. Also, you have DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, two players, great at their prime, doing their thing still. But at the end of the day, guess what? They also need structure. They need play design. They need things that work behind them also. When you have a young quarterback, you're looking at your young quarterback, what are you supposed to have? A structured offensive line. So seeing a move with Ben Johnson here, and then looking what he did with the Detroit Lions, because let's not make sure that people don't forget out here. Everyone was praising Ben Johnson. Just like they were doing for Caleb Williams the years before Caleb got into the league. Everybody's been praising Ben Johnson this whole time before he got to Caleb Williams. So let's make sure that we understand and keep it consistent and understand that everything that you were talking about that was positive then can still happen later and now. So now we kind of have that structure, and I'm looking forward to seeing exactly what we have with that. We also have a few other things when we're looking at, we finally, quote unquote, have the culture. We're looking for the culture change. Matt Eberflus wasn't a culture change. We all knew that. Eberflus definitely wasn't there. Eberflus was one of those, we understood that with that defense that he had, hey, that defense was doing good those last 6 games of the season. Who wouldn't keep a coach just from that? Guess what? We shouldn't have, knowing that we were moving into this new era with a new quarterback, which, hey, there you go. We end up getting rid of Eberflus. We got rid of another defensive, what was that, Hightower? We had to get rid of him. We had to get rid of Simos now. He's going to have to go. There's going to be a whole lot of different structures like beyond the team's overall structure that I feel we have to do a lot more as Bears fans to just sit back and believe in Poles and what he's doing here. He's trying to do something. He's trying to do something different. To move on a little bit to the season review, I definitely feel like Ben Johnson can go ahead and re-sign Keenan Allen because I know this is his contract season. We need to go ahead and get Keenan Allen back into the show. Get him back in so that we can go ahead and have that veteran presence to work with Roman Dunze and Tyler Scott, because Tyler Scott hasn't been able to show up at all. He's had Butterfingers since day one with the Bears. So, that's definitely something that we're trying to make sure that we improve. And Keenan Allen is all about hands, all about hands. So if we can improve what we have, that will be fantastic. But this upcoming draft has so many great wide receivers, running backs, and so on and such. So I don't quite know how it's going to work out for Tyler Scott in the end. But at the end of the day, I definitely will say Keenan Allen is one that we need to make sure that we keep on to the Bears. The rookie, of course, we're going to get Kirian Amagaji. Kirian, at the end of the day, though, I think Kirian needs to be a training camp evaluate. How he was kind of forced into his position. You had Braxton Jones, which definitely shouldn't be on the team next year. Let Braxton Jones go. Braxton Jones is one of those players that I definitely did not want to see past easy flaws that I see. So forth. There was actually 4 tabs on here where we were going to have what head coaches are we going to talk about and so on and so forth. But with this news, I can't wait any longer. We have to go ahead and do this. So I definitely appreciate you all being here. So Josh Blackwell, you can go. I definitely appreciate it, but we need more defensive pressure when it comes down to our DBs. Our DBs have not been locking down like their usual traditional Chicago Bears DBs. Jalen Johnson needs help. He needs help. He's doing it out there, but he definitely needs help. I will say that. This was his Pro Bowl season. Next year, I don't know. I don't know how that's going to work out because you do have people out there, Travis Hunter that's coming out there, a rookie that's trying to do his thing. So if you got Travis Hunter, that's another person moving in. We're not going to go into all the rest of the rookies just yet, not in this video. But Booker, number one, I'm so happy to see his production. Now we get to see Booker with some help with these beautiful defensive tackles that are coming out in this college draft. NBA draft, I should say, not college draft, just NBA, NFL draft. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what we have to give that defensive pressure up middle, get us some big boys, because we did pass on Jalen Carter. That's one thing I see the Eagles. Hey, Eagles, you're doing your thing. You definitely were the ones to definitely make him the best, and I've said it in previous Bears videos. He's the one. He is definitely the one. Jalen Carter is definitely the one for you all, but he needed that veteran presence. He needed Fletcher Cox to be there the year before. He needed that worked out for him. So now the Bears can now get ourselves some defensive tackles in the middle and help out with Booker and Sweat on the outside. Kevin Byard is all right this season. Overall, the statistics, if this is one of the main reasons why I had to make sure I had the stats out here, top, most tackles in the team. So he was the most productive. But at the end of the day, I believe one of the main reasons why Byard was productive is because we didn't have Brisker there. Brisker wasn't there. If we would have had Brisker there, Brisker would have took over a lot of those times, and Byard wouldn't have been as productive. So I don't necessarily know if we need to keep Byard past that point, but he helped out when Brisk went down, so I'm definitely happy to have that. That's definitely a good turn. Larry Borum, you can go. I appreciate you, brother. I definitely appreciate you. He was here backing up Braxton, so on and so forth, but he can go. We need a different line. We need to solidify this line so that Caleb Williams can have the perfect. I don't want to put any hoodoo voodoos on nobody or anything like that, right? But if Caleb were to get hurt or anything like that, this team needs to be built for any quarterback to do the same game plan that Caleb was doing, if not, and better. You get what I'm saying? Backup-wise. Because at the end of the day, as you can tell, I definitely did pass upon Tyler Badgett. Tyler. Let me make sure I say this the proper way. I can see Ben Johnson having his own quarterbacks that he likes to work with and calling them up to the Bears to see and show how the game plan works, to then try to pass it off to Caleb type thing. And what I mean by that is, if you paid attention as a Bears fan, and what a lot of coaches do, we just fired him. Shane Waldron. There you go, Shane Waldron. Shane Waldron brought in a quarterback to kind of show Caleb Williams the way. That quarterback then left and went to the Vikings, so on and so forth, and now he's doing other things, this is that. But he brought the quarterback in during the offseason, meaning training camp, to kind of show Caleb Williams the game plan of what he thought, how he would like it to go. It didn't necessarily work out, as you can tell, but that's kind of what you do. So that's something I could see Ben Johnson potentially doing. Bringing up quarterbacks, he's like, okay, I see you have this style. I'm going to bring up this veteran quarterback that's kind of just there. I'm going to bring him out there to kind of show you what this is, what I'm looking for. Or he could just tell Caleb, because at the end of the day, Caleb is a ridiculous talent. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing exactly what he can do and bring out of Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams is going to be, I believe, when it comes down to him, Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix, Drake, I believe Caleb is easily going to be number one. Easily. Because based off of his production here in the season, you're looking at 3,500 yards with a horrible O-line, with a horrible game plan, with players not working out, with the defense not giving you the ball back as much as other players have gotten the ball back from their defense, meaning Jaden Daniels and Bo Nix. They've had different situations where it's worked out better for them. And then also their coaching has been far beyond better, that it's actually worked out, that they have actually been able to show more of their talents. That's the great thing about it. They've been actually able to show their talents, that I've had more fun watching Jaden Daniels and Bo Nix play, and then seeing Caleb Williams being held back because they're saying, hey, turn into Justin Fields. Hey, turn into Mitch Trubisky and throw screens. Why? We don't need to see screens. Only time we need to see screens, I truly hope we see maybe 6 screens a game, period, point blank. That's it. 6 screens, that's it. That's it. We don't need screens. We can get DJ Moore and all these other players involved with slant plays, outs, out and ins, different plays, hitches, mesh routes that actually cut them off, that give more of a blocking concept, that Cole Kmet's not literally smash blocking the players that he's looking at, that type of thing. So there's going to be a lot to look forward to with that. But this is crazy. I'm definitely happy to see this. There's going to be a lot of changes. So I'm just putting my little 2 cents out there. People can feel it. They can. They're not. I'm going to make sure I chop this up and so on and so forth in the proper way. But yeah, Trevon Dexter, you could stay. You could definitely stay. He's a prospect that I saw as being someone great, but at the end of the day, end up being okay, if not mediocre. He needs to be a lot more of a presence. So once again, him and Amagaji are going to be a training camp kind of situation. You're going to have to jump into training camp and see what they can do in training camp and see exactly how productive they can be inside training camp and see if they need to be there much longer. Because this draft, I see the Bears taking advantage of this draft so nasty. Watch out for those trades from Ryan Poles. Ryan Poles wasn't trusted. I can see it. And we all seen it. Sorry about that. Damn, bit my I hate wisdom tooth removal. Anyway, we all seen it as Bears fans. Ryan Poles was not trusted after that trade to the Carolina Panthers for Bryce Young, and we got DJ Moore and all those other picks. He was not trusted. They did not trust him for those next couple. They didn't trust him at all. This year, I can see Ryan Poles trying to get some trades out there, so I just can't wait to see exactly the production value and exactly what we get from that. Because at the end of the day, having Ben Johnson as your leader at this point, because I know Detroit fans out here are just extremely sad. They're very sad. We already had one case. She came in here. She says she's not pressed, but apparently, like, he was able to do everything that he wanted to with your team and be successful, so that when he does leave your team, he can come to us and feel ever so confident. Now, he left the Detroit Lions with beef. He got beef with the Lions at this point. And I'm not saying with them, as in he's got beef with success. He went 15-2? What was that they went 15-3? Whatever the record was. That's what he did. He's gonna want to come to the Bears and do that, if not better, which is a Super Bowl. Think about that. That's literally what it is. Period, point blank. So everybody has the right mindset. It's all about the mindset, all about the mind of. And that's all we're about. It's all about the mind on Bears. Oh, Tremaine Edmonds. Getting back to the roster real quick. Tremaine Edmonds, you can go. Appreciate all the length and all this other extra stuff. His IQ is not there. The IQ is not there. He has, every now and then, he's took advantage of a few things because of his length. But if you took away his length, he would have not took advantage of any of those things. So I'm sorry. I can't just go off of length. We don't need to go off of potential anymore here in Chicago. We need to go off of actual production. We need to go off of production, even from rookies, even from college people. If he was productive in college, we need him to be productive. We don't need to go off potential. There's this thing about potential that Ryan Poles has this addiction to, because he was a person that the Bears looked at themselves and said, you got potential, we'll let you try, What was that? But what y'all did ain't pay off either. What we didn't pay off. See, this is the thing. The Bears fans, let me make sure I say this, just like Detroit fans, I understand neither one of us have control, right? Neither one of us have control, so we have to keep it in perspective, right? Detroit fans and Bears fans have no control. So all we can do is look at what everyone else is doing, meaning the head coach and the organization, right? Looking at the organization, every last Bears fan, every last true Bears fan did not want Eberflus to still be here. We didn't. We knew he was not the guy for Caleb Williams. We knew it. Every little problem that a real Bears fan saw, we knew. Offensive line. That's been an issue since Jay Cutler, okay? Since Jay Cutler. I would even say before Cutler, realistically, but I'm just saying modern-wise, just so people can have a visual. You can Google and you look at some YouTube videos on that. Jay Cutler, that's when our line was trash, okay? Even since then, Mitchell Trubisky, Justin Fields, a quarterback that didn't have to run so much in college, turned into a running quarterback because of how the Bears treated him. In Ohio State, Justin Fields, just to, pause on Caleb for a second, Justin Fields was actually successful. He knew of success. Just like Caleb Williams. In college, he knew of success. So then when you come to the NFL and you're not successful, you're like, what? What is this? The Bears fans, the true Bears fans knew this is not what we wanted. We knew it. But we saw easily on paper, you see this? On paper, these players, it should have worked. It should have worked. You need the head coach. You need the coaching. And what happened? What happened? There's at least 6 games. At least 6 games. In this season alone. That the Bears gifted. And one was to the Detroit Lions. Actually, both were to the Detroit Lions. One was to Green Bay. And then there was a few others down the line. The Hail Mary that just destroyed the whole season. Well, I saw the season done way before, but still, the Hail Mary just really just killed us at that point, because that showed that there was no sequence, there was no punishment. The fact that Stevenson was even still on the team, able to play that next game, was crazy to me. We didn't even win that next game, so what was the point of him even being there? There wasn't. That means that he didn't even show any production. And then even past that point, we just continued to lose. Stevenson never got to get his, he just didn't get to start? That didn't matter. I didn't want Stevenson to be out there. You're supposed to be assertive. You need a leader of men. A leader of men can tell people, hey, no, don't do this, do this. Period, point blank. It's because I said so. That's what we need. Eberflus wasn't there. That's what all these Bears fans know. And guess what? That's what every single Bears player has been saying and preaching. We need a leader of men. We need someone that can tell you no. We need someone that can tell you, We see Ben Johnson over there telling Detroit Lions players all day, every day, hey, no, hey, this is what we need. Hey, what's wrong? Hey, this, hey, that. What is Matt Eberflus doing on the sidelines? Just looking. Just looking. Just looking. What did Thomas Brown do after Matt Eberflus got fired? Just looking. Just looking. That's it. So the fact that you have quarterbacks looking at their team bad, you have wide receivers looking at the team bad, you have the defensive players looking at the team bad, you have the NFL fans looking at the team bad, but the head coach is not there, that's out of our control, right? Just like every other team. So we, as Bears fans, realistic Bears fans, we took it into perspective. I took it into perspective. Go way back. Better. I mean, together. I actually already had most of it together, but I couldn't do it because of us hiring Ben Johnson. But man, this is crazy. I will be snip-bitting and cutting up this, live stream and stuff like that, so we'll be knocking out some of this stuff. But, yes, so Ben Johnson is definitely going to be a change for the culture in just a certain way of the culture being more accountable. We need accountability. Accountability is huge. In this world, accountability is huge. So if you're not having millionaires being accountable about other millionaires, that's an issue. So looking at a team like Detroit, we didn't have any issue to hate whatsoever. We didn't have any reasons to hate whatsoever. But it's so crazy how, as Detroit Lions players got hurt, I started seeing within my comments people like Prest coming through and other people coming through talking about injuries, talking about woulda, coulda, shouldas, then started talking about Bears fans hating. Then when the Lions finally lost, started talking about, come on, stop it. Ben Johnson, we want Ben Johnson to do as best as he can with you all. You all were loving all the trick plays and doing all that stuff, and then when it finally didn't work out, you got sad. It happens. It happens. Get over it. Don't just diss Ben Johnson now because, he left you guys overnight. He definitely dipped from Detroit, and that's a close address. It wasn't hard for him to move. Think about all those options. Why would I can just move my family down the street and keep beating up on everybody else. Why not? And then I had a few Bears fans on another side note. I'm not Bears fans. I had a few Detroit fans come into my chat. Ben Johnson's not coming to Detroit. He's not coming to Detroit. You're not going to get Ben Johnson. It's not going to happen. He doesn't want to come there. He doesn't want Caleb. Why wouldn't you want Caleb Williams? Caleb Williams is one of the main reasons why so many teams wanted to forfeit their coaching staff. So many teams wanted to try to give the Bears everything and then some to try to get that pick. So why wouldn't it work out now? It just doesn't work as a Bear, and I get it. People want to try to put it there for historical reasons. They're like, when has it worked out? We get to the Super Bowl, it didn't work out. We get doinked out. We get to playoffs, we get doinked out. But having situations like Detroit Lions and Jared Goff throwing 5 interceptions in a playoff game is crazy. So that's something that we're definitely not looking forward to Caleb Williams doing. He makes sure that he doesn't throw that many interceptions. Caleb Williams himself, as you can tell by looking at the stats, there's 6 right here. It's only 6 interceptions. Goff did that in 1 game. So it shows you that there's reasons why Ben Johnson would want to move around. But us Lions fans need to understand it's always going to be Detroit versus everybody. No, that's just how you feel. That's your problem. That's the problem. That's the problem with Lions fans. It's the fact that they feel like it's Detroit versus everybody. Versus, my mouth. But they feel like it's versus everybody. That's their problem. That's the biggest problem. It's not. It should be Detroit trying to be better. You said versus everybody. You trying to prepare versus everybody gets all your players hurt, apparently. Right? Right? Most hurt team out there, #1 seed. Did all that to be that hurt. Think about it like this. If Detroit fans really wanted to think about it, Detroit fans could seriously sit back and think, damn, maybe if we would have took a couple L's during the season and still got to this point and been healthier, maybe it would have worked out. Nope, we needed to go for it on fourth a lot. We needed to do all these. That's what you like to do. Own up to what you do. Love what you do. Enjoy what you do. Don't be upset. Don't be mad. Be glad. Be happy as Detroit fans. Because guess what? As Chicago fans, whatever happens from this point on, we have to be happy about it. We have to sit here as Chicago fans, and I'm not going to be delusional because I'm going to say it here and now. We as Chicago fans have to say this out the way for a moment. If he gives us this same record, 5-12, that's on us. That's on us. We have to own up to it. Because we sat here and thought we was going to get closer. We were going to get closer. Well, not necessarily 15, but hey, can we get our, 10 to 11 wins, get into the playoffs, do what we need to do, and then make sure we're slugging and, doing what we usually do? NFC, championships, so on and so forth, and go from there, see what happens? No? If we don't do that, we have to own up to it. But guess what? Here and now, Bears fans, we understand the time is now. It's always been now. Caleb Williams came here and we saw the talent. So we're like, yes, we got to take advantage. We got to use this. We got to make sure we don't spoil this because we can have something beautiful for the next 10 to 15, maybe 20 years. I don't know, but maybe 20 years, you know what I'm saying? Depending on how this front office is and so on and so forth. Because Ryan Poles can be here forever. He's young. Don't forget, Ryan Poles is young. He's young, people. So the fact that Ryan Poles can be here is beautiful. So looking at the Bears, it seems like we have nothing but choice. And then going back on this roster real quick, we stopped off at Byard. Byard, like I said, he can stay here as a veteran. I have no problem with that whatsoever. I keep it. Looking at him in his position, he was able to back up Brisker. Brisker might need someone to back up in general, but do we need that same amount of efficiency that he was able to bring? I don't think Byard was necessarily the most efficient safety in that position, but he was able to do what he could. But we all missed Brisk, and we missed Kyler Gordon. See, now we just missed him. It's not an excuse. See, we're not saying we lost because of. We just missed Kyler Gordon. Kyler Gordon. Jaquan Brisker. My mouth. Ouch. Both of them. It's messed up. You know what I'm saying? So it makes you really sit back and think about things. Me, myself, as a Bears fan, I want to make sure that we have more production. So giving a little bit to Ben Johnson as being our new head coach at this point in time, he knows that he could do more. Colbert, you can go. We appreciate it. We saw you on Hard Knocks. He has that passion, drive, so on and so forth. He wasn't necessarily the most productive for us this year. Coward, you can definitely go. Got dogged at the line. It was ridiculous to see him on his back so much. Same thing. Jake, you can go. Same thing. Daly, you can go. Sorry, I'm trying to make sure that everyone gets their fair share, but I want to make sure that I evaluate what the Bears we had so that we can look at the future. If we can make a young offensive line and defensive line grow with the Bears, that's exactly what I want to do. I want this young offensive line and a young offensive line to grow with the Bears so that we can do more. We can be more productive. Our linemen and linebackers need to be more in sync. With us having Edmonds gone, I believe we can easily exchange him for someone else. Easily. Trade Sanborn, do something else for it, or put Sanborn in during the summer and see exactly what we can do. When we get to him, Noah Sewell, I personally, as a Bears fan, I want to keep Noah Sewell. Why? Because Noah Sewell versus Penei Sewell would be beautiful. Once you get Noah Sewell out there being a starter and him trying to break the line, getting past Penei, it would just be beautiful for years to come because Panay, I don't know how many more years he has over there in Detroit, but that would be nice to see more of that. But that's really the only reason why, I'm not gonna lie, just to see the whole little Sewell thing, because I thought Noah was gonna be more productive. We might not have used him properly because we didn't have the right coaching staff. We just didn't. We really didn't. We had a defensive coach that was promoted to head coach for the last 3 years. Sad to say, that's literally what it was. He went from Indiana, came here, and that was it. That was literally it. Period, point blank. So it really didn't work out for us. Evans, you can go ahead and go. Appreciate you being a running back. Nice, pick up for us, but we just kept picking up Evans for no reason throughout the year. I don't understand why Ryan Poles. I guess he was trying to figure out something over Travis Homer or whatever it may have been. But Homer shouldn't have stayed, and Evans shouldn't have stayed. We should have kept Herbert, and that's it. Left it just at that. But I guess Herbert might have wanted more money. Whatever. It doesn't matter to me. Gerald Everett. My bad. You can go, brother. I appreciate you being here. He actually didn't help us do anything. He wasn't schemed in properly, maybe, but at the end of the day, he definitely didn't help us do anything. So unless he wants to be here on a veteran minimum of maybe 2.5 to maybe 5 million, okay, we might keep you on. But other than that, you can go. Jonathan Ford, I'm gonna just keep it pushing. You can go ahead and go. Gordon, of course, for keeping Spider-Man. Got to keep Spider-Man. Hardy. We'll keep Hardy as a backup during the summer because he's going to be able to test these rookies and then also see if he surpasses some of these rookies or these other players in free agency. Guess what? We'll go ahead and keep you. It's just that simple. We got to be more straightforward, leader of men, efficient. Just say exactly what you mean. Say exactly what you want. Period, point blank. Elijah Hicks, not bad at all. Good backup. You can go ahead and go. I appreciate you being here. Ben Johnson, I believe, based off the team that he had in Detroit, he's looking for more players that are more attacking and that will do more of the effort themselves, even beyond the play. For football fans, you know exactly what I mean. Hicks, you weren't that beyond the play guy. Homer, you heard what I said earlier? Appreciate you being here. Jenkins, I am so sorry. Had so much potential. We thought he was going to do something. He stays more hurt than he stays in the game. He's kind of like Lonzo Ball and them for the Bulls. This is something you can't do in football. We can't sit here and just take you being hurt. We really just can't. You can't just be hurt all the time. We really can't. That's something that I personally don't want to take a hit for. So I would say the Bears need to go ahead and make their mind up, keep it pushing, let Jenkins go ahead and go. Johnson, nice offseason story. Appreciate you being here. We need other people to come in here and be more productive. Johnson was here. That took time from Tyler Scott actually being more productive. Now, I understand Johnson's a bigger target, but we need to see what the players we drafted can do, and then also the newer players that we will draft can do, and then apply more veterans onto this, other than these hopeful, players. Stop doing it. Ryan Poles, please stop doing it. Ben Johnson, I believe, looking at the Detroit Lions, seeing how he did it with them, period, point blank, we should be more productive, and I'm looking forward to seeing that for sure. Jalen Johnson, yet another player I believe we're going to keep for years to come. It's just, I think that Jalen this year was one that he was truly pissed. He was pissed. Players were pissed. Everyone was pissed this year. Okay? So to see this team go down how it did, I know Jalen Johnson, there's times where he was quote unquote beat on defense. It's all about effort. You can't have the effort if the team itself doesn't look like it's going anywhere. The play calling didn't look like it was going anywhere. Defense was always out there. They were getting ran down a lot of times. I mean, especially Andrew Billings went down early. Can't do anything about that. That's not even having a big body in the middle. Just having a big body is enough to stop sometimes. Can't do anything about that. So when you don't have that big body, you kind of just letting plays up. That means all your cornerbacks have to go from being outside of the field to going inside of the field. It's a lot of just running inside to try to help protection. Then when you're throwing over on top of them, they can't really utilize and do the protection or the coverage that they need to in the zones so that they can utilize their skills at how they need to. They're so used to, okay, am I helping to help this run defense? Oh, I'm not helping. All right, cool. Let me back out, do this. Oh, wait, he's past me. I have the energy, but I don't have the energy. It's. We'll see. I can't blame Jalen Johnson. Let me just say that. From all of that, I just can't blame Jalen. Just can't. Roshan, I want to keep Roshan. Rojo, I want to keep. I want to see what he does. I do. But looking at this draft, I seriously see some prospects in this draft that, man, oh man, I think Rojo, you might have to turn fullback. Turn fullback. Make Roschon Johnson a fullback, and I think the Bears will do some devastating things. But keep him. But this upcoming draft is going to be devastating. But as a Lions fan, okay, I read that. Appreciate y'all being here also, man. This is fantastic. So looking at this 5-12 season with the Bears, this season in review, I believe basically getting down to that, I more or less put a stamp on that to kind of let it be known that 5-12 isn't what we were looking forward to. We were definitely looking to see the swap of that, maybe 12-5. Me, myself, I believe I rested on 10 to 11 wins this past season. Bears weren't able to utilize that. We weren't able to even get close to that just because of the fact that why? Everything that I said previously. So I'm looking forward to seeing a lot more changes, a lot more reinforcement of the guard. We need reinforcement of the leadership. We need more reinforcement of the actual accountability in this team. If players are going out here being accountable, the coach needs to be triple, if not quadruple accountable on their actions. You know, they need to somewhat take it away from the players. They need to say, yeah, well, you know, he had this interception, but that's really me on that play call. Maybe I should have said this. That's accountability. You know, that's bringing more into your team. You need to do a lot more. So that's definitely when it comes down to our season in general. I feel the Bears need to have overall accountability. Be accountable for everybody. Be accountable for your players. Be accountable for your fans. Be accountable for what you have on paper. Don't be the Cowboys. You see what the Cowboys are doing this whole time. Cowboys have been spending all this money to do what? Hire Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy was one of the people on my list here for coaching candidates. I'm gonna let y'all see this so y'all understand. There was a whole lot that was gonna go into this. You all can see there was a lot that was gonna go into this. So there was a lot that was going into this. All right, that's just a quick snippet of what it is. I'm telling you. Hearing this news about Ben Johnson, I hope all Bears fans are completely and utterly happy because we're looking forward to seeing the future. Knowing I had to throw all that away. Everything y'all just saw, I had to throw all that away because there was no point. There was like I was throwing out. There was so many things that I wanted to do and say, but I wanted the playoffs to be done. You know, I wanted all Bears fans and all the coaching candidates to be, ready. But at the same time, I forgot. The Bears are doing newer things. So we're changing. We're not waiting until the end of the year. You see what I'm saying? This is clearly showing there's a new wave for the Bears, y'all. Come on, stop playing. This is a new wave. Seriously, think about it. We fired a coach midseason, something that we don't do. Something that we don't do. Have never done in the 100 years of the Bears, 108 years or whatever, the Bears being around, whatever. We've never fired a head coach in season. Other teams, Lions and all these other teams, have fired their coaches. So that means they've found reasons and they've been able to craft and, get other coaches' mindsets and, add players from that mindset, but then still fire the coach and keep that player, and then so they've been eventually able to get their teams right. Bears have shown more commitment to their coaches than any team in history. Period, point blank. Now, that's a bad thing and a good thing, but it's a good thing because when a coach comes here like Ben Johnson, he can now feel secure in his job. He can feel like, you know what? As long as I'm successful, they'll keep me. Now, hopefully, it doesn't end up being a situation where it's like Lovie Smith, and we end up firing him on a 10-6 season. But with Lovie Smith, it was also a situation where Lovie had his guys. Lovie had his guys. There's certain people that he just wouldn't give up. So since Lovie Smith didn't give up those people, guess what? We kind of just sucked after a while. So we had to let Lovie go. That's just kind of how it was. But guess what? As a Bears fan right here, I'll say it myself. We wanted Lovie Smith back so bad before getting Matt Nagy. After getting Matt Nagy and after Matt Nagy winning Coach of the Year, we still wanted a different coach. We still wanted better. So now I'm happy to see that we have Ben Johnson here. All right. And getting back to the roster itself, Cole Kmet, Golden Boy. I'm so waiting to see him and Caleb turn into the next Brady and Gronk. The next Patrick Mahomes and what's his name? Taylor Swift. Travis Kelsey, Jason Kelsey, Travis Kelsey, whatever his name is, that dude. You know what I'm saying? Or I don't know if this is gonna happen anymore, but Laporta and Goff. I would love for that to turn. I would love for him to turn into that combination, and just be that type of target. So I'm looking forward to that because Cole was a sure target for Mitch, and for Justin Fields, and I believe Mitch's last year. But either way, he's going to be great. Chicago Bears have drafted so many great tight ends and have given up on so many of them. Greg Olsen, I'm so sorry to you. I'm so sorry. So sorry. The fact that Mike Martz said that he doesn't, or Mike Trice, whoever it was, one of our coordinators, whoever it was at that time, Mark Trice, whoever it was, Mike Martz, I believe, didn't believe in using tight ends at the time was ridiculous. Like, are you serious? Are you serious? Greg Olsen? You can't use Greg Olsen, then what does Greg Olsen do? He goes to Carolina with Cam Newton and becomes one of their best all-time tight ends ever. Like, come on now, man. Like, so we don't need to do that to Cole Kmet, period, point blank. Right, Bears fans? We don't need that at all. We definitely don't need that. And I also appreciate you being here, everyone. Definitely make sure you follow if you are enjoying the stream and hit that like button. Oh, shit. Sorry, I bit my mouth, so I had to go through my spill for a second. All right, Doug Kramer. Look, I appreciate the Chicago-born prospect. I appreciate the fact that he's been here and he's loved to, support our team. Don't get this man the ball ever again. Have him play his position. If he can't play his position, get him out of here. That's just it, period, point blank. I'm sorry. Not sorry, but at the same time, it just is what it is. Mercedes Lewis, same thing. You're a veteran. I will say this, though. Mercedes Lewis, when he's been in there to run block every now and then, he has been efficient. I'm happy for that. But other than that, as a tight end, Lewis and Everett, you both have not shown up where we needed to. But that's also within the play design. See, so a lot of these things, I can't necessarily blame a lot of these players because the play design just wasn't there for them. It's like we didn't believe in them either. We didn't believe in calling plays that would work out better for them. So it's kind of hard for me to really blame them completely. But at the end of the day, Mercedes Lewis, I appreciate the veteran presence. I believe Cole Kmet got what he needed from him, meaning just, pointers here and there. He is a 40-year-old. So we're looking forward to seeing exactly what we can get from him, maybe, if we bring more younger tight ends in here, because I do see us potentially adding a tight end to help out Cole Kmet on the other side so that we can kind of have that duo situation, since we should be giving up on Everett, because Everett was slow and he just didn't get any crack blocks. He didn't actually hold up on any blocks at times. If you're not going to hold up on blocks, then get out there in your position and actually run the route. If you can't run the route, then hold up blocks. If you can't do either, I'm sorry, you can't be a tight end. Figure out what you want to do. Jacob Martin, he showed up when he was here every now and then, but for some reason, the defensive team, our defensive coordinators, did not want him to be there. But every single time that I seen Martin there, he actually showed up and did what he needed to. But yeah, he showed up every now and then. But once again, Martin isn't the answer. He is not the answer. He's not the answer on the line. We need someone else to give actual defensive pressure, someone that people have to worry about with Sweat. So that's either making Austin Booker elite, putting him on that Max Crosby level as we've been trying to see him as, because that's, once again, Booker's a potential player. So he might be another one of those players that we might eventually give up on after this next year. But I'm looking forward to him being something great based off his archetype. Eat, gain some weight, and go ham. Just go ham out there. But that's for Booker, of course. Martin, you can go ahead and go. DJ Moore, he's here. We already know he's going to grow with Caleb. Moore, the other Moore, you can go. We need younger defensive backs. If we have an If we have an opportunity as Bears fans, think about this. Travis Hunter. I know it won't happen. I know it won't. There's no way he'll get to 10. There's no way. There's no way. There's no way. I know. Before anybody says it in the comments below up on this video when I'm done editing, hey, look. Hey, I know. We won't get Travis Hunter. But, if Travis Hunter drops somehow, some way, and we got Travis Hunter, That takes care of our cornerback need, and that takes care of our wide receiver need. So then we have Rome as the big target. Oops, sorry. Rome as the big target. And then we'll have Travis Hunter as the medium target. You know what I'm saying? And then you also have Cole Kmet out there. And then we're going to go deeper into that. But that would be interesting. But that's just one thing. I know we're not going to do that, but that's just a thought. So just in general, more, you can go. Rome, of course, we're keeping you, man. You're going to grow. You're going to grow with us. You know, Abaminga, my bad. Abaminga. I don't want to mess up his name. But he made his plays. But I feel as though we can have other players in his position, especially at his height, 6 foot. He's as tall as me. He's 15 pounds heavy. You know, so I was like, but that neither here nor there. We need more from our linebacker position when it comes down to it. We need more consistency, especially from Edmonds. Edwards, he was doing his thing. I'll keep Edwards all day. I know I breezed past TJ Edwards because, hey, that's why. We can breeze past him, keep him for a moment. You know, keep him for this next upcoming year. I'm perfectly fine with that. Moving on to Owens. I know this season a lot of people and myself were saying Miss Biles and so on and so forth, stuff like that. But he showed up every now and then. He definitely did. I myself will say keep him. Keep him. Keep him. Keep him. Reason being, backup for Brisker. If he could be backup for Brisker, then that'll make more sense for us as Bears fans. As Bears fans, if we can have another name as a backup, it'll feel better. And then also, why not keep his wife here as a celebrity for the Chicago Bears? That's awesome. That's awesome to me because she'll be here to support the Bears fans. We'll have more global audience to support the Bears fans. And then from that global audience, we'll find real Bears fans that actually lock in on the Bears. And then, you know, all will be able to grow together. But not just that. Owens, I believe, he does make good plays. It's just at times, I think it's his confidence. You know, he's not locked in at times. You can see he looks a little bit jittery and a little bit like hesitant at times, you know. And then when he actually makes a play, when he gets that first tackle, when he actually makes that first contact, he then looks more relaxed. He's more like calmed down. Other than that, he just looks like a deer in the headlights, just real bad. Pickens, Zach Pickens. Once again, another camp. Go to camp, see what happens, training camp. 6'4", I'm very happy to have him here, but he hasn't been able to be as productive as he needed to be. So him and Dexter both should go into training camp and see exactly what they can do. If they can go into training camp and see truly who's better out of the both, then test out these new upcoming rookies, then we'll be able to see who will work out better for us as Bears fans, because as Bears fans, I notice we're locked in at both of them, and realistically, both of them are the same player. Sorry, they are. And they're not necessarily the most productive. They're not. So we need more production. We passed up on Jalen Carter, and you see what he's doing for the Philadelphia Eagles right now. So we're definitely going to have to make more production and be more productive in general so that we can make more of a splash in the offseason and in not the offseason, I'm sorry, the postseason, I should say, and the regular season. Because at this point, I'm sorry, everyone's saying it once again, and I know they're saying it again about the Bears. It's hype season for the Bears again. But it's very real. It's very real. Since we have Ben Johnson, now we can assume we're in the playoffs. So that means we can assume either Green Bay or Minnesota or the Lions are not, whatever the way of saying it, I'm sorry because my mouth, but they're not going to make it to the playoffs. One of them aren't. Probably the Lions because they're going to lose their coordinators and stuff, but we'll see. You know, you never know. The Lions, I truly feel for them. I do. The fans, not the Lions. You know, forget the Lions. Bear down all day. But the fans, oh man, I feel for them. Because that was it for them. That was it. This was the year. And the fact that we made this move at head coach, I can actually not pay attention, quote unquote, to the playoff games. We're still going to go ahead and do that reaction later on today. I might actually do a live reaction for you all on YouTube for that. But if not, expect to see that reaction after this stream. Maybe 2 hours after this stream, you'll see that reaction for the postseason game between Ravens and the Bills. Yep, Ravens and the Bills game. So that'll be a game you can definitely check out after this. I'll have my reaction to that. But yeah, this is amazing. Can't believe we're really fast forward and pushing forward. Now it's truly draft season. It's truly time to put out those draft boards. Truly time to put out those mock drafts because now you got to think about the coach's mindset and how the coaches, and what those coaches would do based on the player draft board and based on the players that they were just using and just utilizing. All this little news go too far. It's going too far. I need to make sure I put my name out there, put my words out there. Because, man, the mind of Bears family is going crazy at this point, and we are growing exponentially in my case. That's how I feel. Because I wasn't looking at us. I was seeing at us at maybe having 300 right now, 300 subscribers at this point. So I'm definitely happy, extremely happy. So I'm looking forward to having us push those goals even further and further. Getting back to the roster, Matt Pryor, you can go, sir. Oh, man. You can call Matt Pryor Mr. Olay. Mr. O to the lay. Period, point blank. That's all it is. Mr. Olay. Matt Pryor, him coming into the game, I even put out a video saying, man, I'm looking forward to see what Matt Pryor does. He might have been a sneaky grab from Ryan Poles because he was looking at this guy for a little bit. Nope. Get out of here. Please, please get out of here. Please, because I want to be chill, relax, and enjoy myself as a Bears fan and watch this stuff and just enjoy exactly what I'm getting from them. Not the fact that you're giving this Olay type of offensive line, getting your quarterback destroyed at different times. It's crazy. Robinson, DR, he's been here for the longest. And realistically, if he was to retire today, I think Bears fans wouldn't mind him being a quote unquote backyard all Hall of Famer. You know what I'm saying? Backyard. And what I mean by that is him just being around all the time. Him being useful, but then not being useful. Him being there, but then not being there. That type of thing. So I'm sorry, DR. We got to let you go. Sanborn, trade asset. I truly believe he's a great trade asset. But his trade quality has actually went down this year because of how they chose to use him. And the fact that they didn't use him this year, though, it might have actually kept it up some. Because he could still show I'm not whatever bad part you've seen, I'm only the good parts. And that's what I'm looking for. So get out of here. Horrible, horrible offensive lineman. Terrell Smith, you can go. Speed. Nice name. I do like the name. I do. Second year player. Put him in positions that you got to use his last name. That's all I got to say. Speed, I didn't see too much from him. He might have just been on the squad here and there. I didn't see too much. Stevenson. Man, oh man, Stevenson. 45, 2 interceptions, 1 fumble. He has grit. He does. But he can go. He can go. He can go. I don't think he deserves to see the next iteration of Bears. I don't. I don't. Accountability would have been him taking himself out of the game. That's accountability. He didn't even do it. Yeah, I'm good. I don't want to go back to that. I don't even want to see Stevenson in a Bears jersey anymore. He can be in any other team. He could be even making plays on the Bears for all these years to come. I don't care. I really don't. I really don't. That was just ridiculous. That was the downfall of the Bears season wholeheartedly. And he just didn't care, his damn self. So, bye-bye, Stevenson. You can go. Montez Sweat, of course. We can keep that going. Swift, look at here. DeAndre Swift. DeAndre Swift, thank you for your time. Detroit didn't want you. I'm going to call him Detroit at this point. Detroit didn't want you. Detroit? Yeah, Detroit. They just gave us a nice little treat in Ben Johnson. So that's what I'm going to call him. Detroit didn't want you. Philly didn't want you, the Flyboys, and I'm sorry, Swift. You at this point are a scatback. You only open if you can run behind the screen and stuff. You can maybe run behind obstruction in the offensive line, but I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Reason why I say I'm good? Yo, Ryan Poles, Ben Johnson, anyone watching this that has control of the Bears, if the Bears have an opportunity during the 2025 draft to grab Genty, what's his name? Genty, the running back. I know it's crazy. I know it's most likely another team will do it. But I think the Bears should do it. Let Swift go. Let Swift go. Let him go. Look at his production. You'd believe this is great. You would like this. You would believe this is productive. Look at that average. Look at that average. You need at least 4 to 5 average. 3, you would believe that's great. No, not how he played. Not how he played. And this is also based off of his catching the ball and running. If you just said his carries alone, that wouldn't work out. This is his career stats here. With the Bears. We're just going to go with the Bears alone. Bears. Detroit. Look at his useful. Look at his uses, I should say. He's the same guy. 5 to 6 touchdowns. The whole season? The whole season. His longest was matched up in Detroit and here, which is 56 yards. He only did 57 in Detroit. He doesn't have that actual breakaway. He can't really do what we believe he is doing. He just has little spurts and gurts of plays. Swift, you can go, brother. Appreciate you being here, man. Appreciate you. And that's why I say I can easily see the Bears taking Genty, having Roshan, and doing some crazy things, man. Oh, boy. That's putting pressure off of Caleb for real. You get Genty, you have the wide receivers out there, and you fix the offensive line with the rest of the picks. Boy, oh, boy. Boy, oh, boy. And that's something that I already have written down here, of course. But, of course, I'm shooting off the top of my head because I can't put this in the video that I wanted to do before, Bears fans. That's what I wanted to do, to let y'all know the reason why Swift can go, because we have potential in so many running backs coming out and all these offensive linemen coming out. We can switch up, get better players and picks. I'm sorry, I meant to say picks. Yeah, better picks to get other players. So on and so. It's going to be ridiculous. This season is going to be ridiculous. Draft season is the real season. Super Bowl is over. No one cares about the Super Bowl at this point. No one cares. It's all about draft season at this point. It's all about draft season because the teams that are in the Super Bowl are the ones that we see in the Super Bowl so far. We see the Chiefs going to the Super Bowl. I mean, that's just kind of how it is. And then beating somebody in the Super Bowl. But anyway, getting back to the players here. Taylor showed up every now and then. He showed up just like Martin did. Every now and then, spurts, Gertz, did what he needed to. But at the end of the day, he was not the answer on the defensive line with Swift. With Sweat. I will say this, though. Given his presence, 6'4", that is something that I'm looking for. I'm looking for presence on defensive line, presence on the offensive line. I'm looking for big, just giants, behemoths, I should say. Okay, I just moved down. Okay. But yeah, so back to the players. Yo, Tory Taylor. I know Tory Taylor right now feels so great because he was actually one of the best assets the Bears could ever get. Period, point blank. His punting helped us so much throughout this season. Bears fans need to make sure we give him his cup of tea. We need to make sure we give him his props. Now, yes, in the 4th round, we could have used someone else to potentially help Caleb and protect him. But overall, one more player wouldn't have helped Caleb in that situation. So, knowing that, getting our special teams help, meaning a potential captain for the future, hey, that works out beautifully for me. Beautifully. Now, we might have to think about another kicker in Santos. Someone else might have to come around because Santos does look like he's kind of aging with how he feels about things. So we might need another field goal kicker. But having Tory Taylor be out here, Caleb Williams over here telling Tory Taylor, hey, you ain't got to worry about punting much. With him doing 82, I'm going to call it here. Bears fans, I'm going to call it here. Unless we're in the playoffs next year, which is something I definitely see us doing. This 82, I'm going to chop this. I'm going to chop this 82. I'm going to chop it. He's going to get just about 68, 65 punts. Maybe. That's what I'm going to say next year. Because our team should have more production. We should be going for it in different situations. Because, yes, Dan Campbell was the reason why they were going for it on 4th. But guess what? That does not mean Ben Johnson won't do it himself because he's seen it work. So that means Torrey won't be punting as much. Hopefully, right? As Bears fans. So yes, Torrey, you can definitely stay. I'm very happy to see you. Walker, you can go ahead and go, man. Appreciate your production. You did well. He can actually be another defensive player that we go into the off season. I mean the training camp with, and see exactly what he does. Evaluate him, and check his pulse to see if he still has that drive. See if he still wants to do something. Because at the end of the day, we still need help on the other side. We do, and I would rather have Booker go in there and feeling like he has a purpose, and these other rookies, whether it's defensive tackles that we get in the middle to help out, other than having Walker out there again, because Walker wasn't necessarily able to be as efficient and as accountable as we needed him to consistently. He just wasn't. Caleb Williams, of course, we're gonna go past Caleb Williams, not even think about that. Of course, we're keeping Caleb Williams, Chris Williams. Yeah, we're not even going to worry about that. And Darnell Wright. Of course, we are definitely going to keep him. A couple players that you do not see on here, and I'm just going to say actually one player that you do not see on here, and this player was the reason why I believed in polls. This player was the reason why I believed in polls. Jackson. Where is he? I don't think he's on here, but Jackson. John Jackson, I believe his name is John Jackson. He's Caleb Williams' friend from UFC, one of the players that he had from USC. That move right there in the offseason felt like that was a brilliant move because he wanted to make sure that Caleb felt comfortable. So having John Jackson, I think is it John Jackson? Whatever his name, Jackson. I know this is his last name, Jackson, on our team for Caleb Williams helped us out big time. And after looking at this team, I have even more faith in Ryan Poles to build with Ben Johnson now as this team's head coach because of the fact that he's shown. I believe in Caleb Williams. I want Caleb Williams to be our star. I sat here and gave him help. I gave him Rome. I gave him Moore. Well, Moore's been here, but I made sure that Moore stayed. I gave him Keenan. And then now I'm also giving him a friend on that he can work with on the on the off seasons and stuff like that. Not off season, but practicing and stuff like that. Jackson, he gave him. So the fact that he made sure to focus on Caleb with that was a huge key to me. It's a big key to me. It's like, man, he's really paying attention. He really want to make sure that Caleb is the one. He really want to make sure that we do something. Caleb wants to make sure that he does something. So me as a Bears fan and all Bears fans out there, I hope you all want to see us do something, want to see us do great, want to see us be great on this team. Because this season, right now, I can easily see that 5-12 flipping on his head, 12-5, and we're on our way. We're on our way. Beautiful. Just you'll see in the second year of a quarterback having a team. See, Caleb was looked at to have this team, and this team has so much effort in their veterans like Swift. So you thought that they were going to actually show up. So they're like, oh man, the effort out of those guys should be amazing. And then you have Caleb Williams having all this arm talent. This should just work. It doesn't work like that. You got to make sure that you're doing things properly so that it can work like that. When it does work like that, then it works out. After all of that, then we can look at it properly. When I myself am looking at Ryan Poles and Kevin Warren, they're leaders that we need to have crosshair on. You know what I'm saying as Bears fan? Stop looking at them like that. Stop it. Stop trying to get rid of the uppers. If we can't get rid of George, leave it alone. That's really what it is. Leave it alone. If you can't get rid of George, leave it alone. And we can't, right? So at this point, we have to focus on what we can and we can't fix. Ryan Poles has done this with this team. With making this decision, he has done this with making this team. With this team. Kevin Warren sat there a couple weeks ago, made Ryan Poles damn near look like a child. Damn near look like this Gengar doll. This was a present from a friend, an old friend. But damn near looked like this. Just sit there on the side while he was saying stuff, and he was just sitting there just with a smile. Not even with a smile. His face was just normal looking. You know what I'm saying? I would have put the Chucky doll here, but it's not out the box. But yeah, that's how he had him sitting there a couple weeks ago. But that was his way of showing this guy here, I got his back. But also, I actually got to take control. I got to show you, here's the foreground. So I'm going to leave him over here. You can't see him. He's over here. Ryan Poles, you can't see him. because I want to be that guy. Kevin Warren wants to be that guy. He wants to be that guy that takes advantage and does everything he needs to for the Bears. And that's what he will do with this roster. I truly feel if we can get the proper line, and it looks like we had the proper line, and meaning if the Bears assess the team that they have, they get 3 offensive linemen. 3. Just 3. 3 additional offensive linemen to fix that offensive line. 2 additional pieces on the defensive line to fix that defensive line. 2 additional pieces for that defensive backs, for the, for those boys out there. If not 3 additional pieces. And guess what? Maybe change out Swift. I believe the Bears, sky's the limit. Sky's the limit for the Bears. Sky's the limit for the Bears, y'all. Sky's the limit for the Bears. We're going to do this. It's going to be crazy. Seeing this 5-12 is going to disappear. It definitely will. It definitely will. It definitely will. And I appreciate everyone being here, showing that love and support to the Bears all this season, showing that love and support to me all this season. It's been great. I'll do the same thing next season. So Detroit fans, Vikings fans, Green Bay fans, thank you for all the love and the hate that you all gave me. I'll only see you mid-season on. So for the first 6 games, I'll be talking all Bears. Then after that, we're talking the full NFC North like we just did. It's going to be great. Hope you all are looking forward to it. And until next time, y'all, it's been that dude, the Mind of Murdoch, signing out. Thanks for coming through. Thanks for the Patreon supporters. As you all know, I don't get paid for any other reactions. I don't care if it gets 1 million views. I don't. NFL takes all that money. So I definitely appreciate all the support that you all give me here. You're really just showing me that I maybe should just go ahead and continue